Hey team, it's Christina, the Pulsate Nutrition Coach, and I'm here to give you a few tips around food regarding your 8-week strength program. Now, resistance training is absolutely key to building muscle and strength, but it really is an uphill battle if your body isn't fueled with the right nutrition in order to be able to reach that goal. Now, I want to super quickly differentiate between building strength and building muscle. So if you're in a fat loss phase, so you're trying to lose weight, it's very unlikely that you're able to build muscle during this time, but that's not to say that you can't build strength. So if you're applying the progressive overload principles, which this program is, so you're trying to lift heavier, more volume, maybe time under tension, you're able to probably do that during this phase. But you may not be able to build muscle per se. So now might be a good time to bump up your calories, either eating at a maintenance level or in a slight surplus. So slightly eating more than what you are burning each day are really, really good building blocks to be able to build muscle and your overall lean body mass. So with that being said, we want to make sure that we're fueling our body with the right kinds of foods. These types of workouts are going to get your central nervous system firing and your metabolism roaring. So probably an hour or so post-workout, you may find yourself absolutely starving. Or if you're working out in the morning, it might get to somewhere throughout the day where no matter how much you're eating, you're probably not feeling satisfied. And that's because these kinds of workouts are really taxing on the nervous system. So we want to make sure that we're eating the right kinds of food. So the two most important things for building muscle and strength is number one, having enough calories throughout the day, and number two, consuming the right amount of protein throughout the day. And you're probably wondering how much that is in terms of protein. So the recommendations for building or maintaining strength and muscle mass is 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So I like to just say 2. So you double your body weight in the amount of protein. So for example, if I weigh 70 kilos, then I'll be looking to consume 140 grams of protein throughout the day. And if you really want to optimize your protein intake, the best advice I can give, spread your protein evenly throughout the day. So 35 grams at breakfast, 35 at lunch, 35 at dinner, and then 35 in a snack somewhere, whether that be a scoop and a half of protein powder or any kind of snack that you like to have, totally up to you. And that's because the body can only absorb a certain amount of protein in one sitting. And so that's spreading it out throughout the day is way more optimal than having one massive protein lunch and one massive protein dinner, because there's going to be sort of a law of diminishing returns where your body can only absorb so much. So that's why for this particular kind of program, spreading it out 4 or 5 meals throughout the day is the best way to go. So choosing high quality lean protein sources like animal proteins, more so in lean beef, chicken, turkey, eggs, cottage cheese, nuts, seeds, yogurt, dairy products in general. Dairy is really great for a boost in protein outside of the traditional kinds. But ultimately it is up to you and your dietary preferences as long as you're hitting a certain level of grams per day. So obviously a balanced diet is important, so we don't want to forget about good quality carbohydrates. And that's not to say that they are essential for building muscle, they're not. However, what it's going to do is fuel your body with enough energy to complete your workout at the best of your abilities, especially during testing. You're going to be exerting yourself more and more and more over the 8-week period. So you want to utilize your carbs enough to make sure that you've got enough energy to actually give it your all. And then dietary fat is important for things like hormone balance, temperature regulation, and transporting vitamins throughout the body. But again, it's not absolutely necessary for strength and muscle gain purposes. But if you're consuming balanced meals with enough adequate protein and carbs throughout the day, it's likely that you're going to be getting a good amount of fats. So things like avocado, if you're cooking with olive oil, again, nuts and seeds on top of salads, but that's just more for a balanced, healthy lifestyle and not particularly necessary for muscle gain purposes. So some takeaway tips, again, if you're wanting to build muscle, you will either need to be eating at a maintenance level or in a slight calorie surplus. So going into the winter months now might be a great time to add some calories back into your diet. Maybe pause the fat loss phase for a little while and then you can pick it up later on. good quality and adequate levels of protein. So that is probably the most important takeaway from today. If you're really unsure how much protein is in your diet, I would recommend searching the protein or macronutrient profile online using trackers like MyFitnessPal. So plug in what you might be eating during the day. I would encourage you to use raw weight over cooked, just because the amount, the density changes with different cooking methods. So raw weight with your protein sources is probably best, and utilize a protein supplement. So depending on plant or vegan protein, or the regular whey, casein protein, pea protein. There's so many different kinds on the market, but just caveating that if you have any digestive discomfort, intolerances or sensitivities, just be mindful of the protein source you're selecting, but I'll leave that entirely up to you. And don't be afraid to eat. So now is a really great time to get in that extra food, utilize the energy availability from food, and use it to really smash out this 8-week strength block. Of course, if you have any questions or you're wanting to get a little bit more information when it comes to nutrition that's personal to you, send me a message anytime. I'm always up for a chat, or come in for a consultation. Otherwise, good luck and hope you're all smashing your lifts, and I'll see you at the gym.